we are going to talk about the Google Apps and the Zoho integrations. Okay, there's a lot of them, and I've got 45 minutes to go through most of them. What I'd like to do is talk a little bit about what you're going to expect, what you'll see, so that if you wanted to walk along with me on your laptops and your Google Apps accounts, you can. We'll go over our partnership with Google, kind of explain a little bit of the dynamics there. We'll do the demonstration, and I'll also show you some of the other integrations that are a little bit outside of CRM, just kind of give you an overview of what those are and how they work and where they're applicable. So this particular session, we're going to talk about these things here that you see. And this information, again, now the segue I was looking for, this information is for the end users, right? So unfortunately, we don't have some master integration where an admin can integrate the contacts of all his employees or all his users on Google Apps. It's something that has to be done on an individual basis, okay? So we're going to go over most of the individual user integrations, and you can take this information back and kind of help your other users of Google Apps do this themselves. Really, even all of them that we have takes probably, I'd say 30 minutes maximum to do all these. You'll see how quick and easy they are. And the plan is to compartmentalize these for you as well. So I plan to create a little 60-second, 90-second video where I can just show you how to import contacts. And once we have those videos created, we'll send them your way. And again, you can send them to all the other users of Google Apps in your environment. So we're going to talk about importing and syncing contacts. We're going to talk about the calendar sync and exporting events to calendar. We're going to talk about tasks and docs. And we'll also talk about the mail functionality as well. So, you guys are all users of Google Apps. You guys probably will all agree with this statement. It's an excellent tool. I've been using it since it first came out. Google Apps is amazing. And it's kind of really allowed us to collaborate together on documents or on mails or on chats and Hangouts and all the other things that they do. And it's also really sped up the adoption and the quickness that you can get up and running on a platform, on a communications platform. The reality is your business needs more than just Gmail, Hangouts, Google Docs, Google Sites. It needs more than that, right? You need to be able to have your sales applications, have your marketing applications, your support applications, accounting apps, and then, of course, the stuff that you guys build for your own business, right? So these apps are just as important to getting your business done as communicating via email and collaborating on a document or a spreadsheet. That's where we come in, right? So you take the vertical alignments of things and the job-specific vertical alignments of sales. Sales needs to communicate like this, but they also need to cover those areas too, right? They need to be able to have their leads, have their interactions, their potentials, all that stuff. Of course, they're going to use email or set up a tasks or calendars related to their customers, but you can't do that all in one place until now, till the integrations. So about our partnership. So we have a very tight partnership with Google. We have over 50 different points of integration. I usually try to keep a pretty good track of the vendor landscape, and I feel pretty confident in saying that that's one of, if not the highest amounts of integration points with Google Apps out of any vendor out there. The application level, right? So no one has as many apps as we do. That's the good thing. So we definitely lead that regard in having 20 integrated apps. And when you look at the marketplace, you segment out the marketplace based upon the subject or the category of vendors. And you'll see that we're in a lot of them where one or two vendors will probably be maybe more than one or two categories. We're in probably almost all categories that they have. And finally, a large number of customers. There's 850 more people than you that are using Google Apps and Zoho together. As you can see, I was talking about there the applications and their specific disciplines and how they integrate with Google Apps. We'll go into a little bit more detail there. So, outside of CRM and Google Apps, right? We have several other applications, as I mentioned, over 20 different applications that integrate with Google and Google Apps. You can see a lot of them here. It just kind of cover all a little of these. You know, Survey, Zoho Survey has an integration with Google Drive. Our Books has integration with Google Contact. Pretty much any of our apps that we have that makes sense to contextually integrate with Google Apps, we've made it happen. If there are some that we're missing, if perhaps you use a particular function of Google Apps or you use a particular application from Zoho that you want a better, more tightly integrated, more contextual integration with Zoho and Google Apps, please let us know. Here I am saying we did a great job, but you might have a specific need that we haven't addressed, and we'd love to find out. Our team is waiting for more integration points. So we're pretty confident in saying we're the largest vendor, and again, the reason why is because we have 20 different apps, all integrated with several different integration points with Google Apps. So when you look in the Google Apps marketplace, you'll see our name pretty commonly seen around there. We are a premier technology partner with Google Apps, so we've been in it for a long time. We've been with them for a while. The cool story I'll tell you about the AdWords integration is something that we use ourselves, right? So a lot of times we build products and applications based upon our own needs. As you heard in the session yesterday, CRM was built because we needed a CRM tool. Our old CRM wasn't able to do what we needed it to do, so we built a CRM tool ourselves. That's what you guys use today. That's the same thing, the same genesis of the story with our AdWords integration. Many of you probably found us through a search on Google or display advertising or something of that nature that you found what Zoho is and who it does. You typed in CRM and we popped up pretty close to the list, or hopefully we popped up pretty close to the list. We spent a lot of money on AdWords as a company. We had to find a way to find which AdWords were relevant and what we were doing, whether or not our methods matched up to our customer leads and all of our prospects. Were we hitting the mark? So we built the integration with Google's blessing, and we are the only vendor that has gotten that blessing. And I honestly don't know if other vendors are trying, but it was an easy process with us because of the relationship we had previously built. So if you're not using that, and unfortunately I won't be going over that session, there's a totally other, there's another session completely on that topic. So again, pretty common stuff, right? Google Apps Messaging Collaboration Suite. We are a CRM. You're both talking to customers and prospects through both of them. But what we really wanted was this. We wanted to be able to have our teams and our customers all in one place. We wanted to be able to share the information between the two services, between the applications, and really have all the data resting in one spot, whether that's Google Apps or whether that's CRM. There are many of you that probably just use CRM. I think a couple of folks have come up and talked to me and said, I send all my mails out through CRM. There are others that say, I like to do things in Gmail, or I like to do things with Google Contacts or Calendar or whatever it may be. This is for you. This is why we built this, so that you can use whatever platform you like to use as your kind of home base, and we want to share the data back and forth. Without further ado, my domain, my company, my example here is ZohoReporter.com. I am building a news service, I guess. I'll start with Gmail. And again, your administrator would have gone into the Google Apps Marketplace, would have added Zoho CRM as an application, and myself as the user will find that application by hitting the Hollywood Squares button, which I like to put it as. Anybody remember that game? Under More, you have your Google Apps Marketplace plugins. And as you can see, we have a bunch of Zoho ones there. These are all available in the Google Apps Marketplace. But I clicked on CRM. And when I clicked on CRM, the first easiest level of integration that we've done is single sign-on, right? So now that I'm logged into my Google Apps account, it now logs me into my Zoho credentials, okay? So the first thing I want to do, I want to show you that this is completely clean. Brand new CRM. I'm just walking into CRM. I don't have any contacts in there. I want to take my Google contacts, and I want to import my Google contacts, right? So let me show you my contacts here. I'm trying to show you the magician, the secrets behind the magician right here, right? So the contacts are here. I've got 8 contacts. Oh, Billy Gates, I've been talking to him a little bit. Been talking to Mark Z. And I want to put these contacts in here, but my brother's listed right here. And, you know, I mean, he's my brother-in-law. I love him, but he doesn't need to be in my CRM, right? So likely what I would do is I would take him out. And I'd create a new group, and I'm going to call it Sync with Zoho. So now I have my contacts and I have my group of contacts here, which is the Sync with Zoho group. So these are the only people that I want to put into Zoho, right? The beauty and the curse of Gmail, when you send one email out to a contact, it likely gets added into your Google contacts, and it becomes a big nightmare when you have more than 8. So again, this is the full list of my contacts here, all 8. But if I go to the Google Contacts Sync, and I want to put them into all contacts. Now I have a couple different options on my sync, right? I can do a two-way sync, which is quite honestly the preferred method. That's the method that we suggest for most folks. So have them both going back and forth. But if in case you want to only just send your CRM contacts to Google or vice versa, you can choose one of these sync options down here. This is also extremely important, this part down here. If the same contact is modified, which one should we look at? Which one should we really believe and understand, right? In this case, we'll choose Zoho, but you can choose either one of those that you like. The frequency. We have daily, weekly, monthly, or just one time. So you can choose to sync the contacts in any frequency that you like. The last part, which is also pretty important, especially if you have custom fields in the CRM, is the field mapping. My contacts are pretty straightforward, but if for whatever reason I wanted to have my company name be, the company name in Google be the date of birth field in CRM, I could do that, right? So most of this is already kind of done for you if it's logical and it's in the right spot, email to email, phone to phone. But again, if you have specific criteria in your Google contact information that you want to put in either a custom field or a special field in Zoho CRM, you can do that here. And you, of course, can map more fields as well. So I'm going to save that. Okay. And now we'll see. Let me move this up here. Just needed a page refresh there. Now you see all my contacts from Google, from the special list I created, the Sync with Zoho CRM. Now those are listed as contacts in Zoho CRM. Same information, same everything, right? Old Stevie J. All his details that were in Google Contact Manager are exactly the same. So that's the contact sync, right? I'll just refresh that because it should say, instead of next sync, it should say daily. Yep, there it is. So now that I've refreshed, it shows me that my next sync is tomorrow at 3:49 p.m. The next one is email. So the good news is a lot of you guys are just now setting this up, but if there have been some, I think there was a couple hands that people had set this up before, and we had a really kind of messy, convoluted way of adding a mailbox from Zoho Mail and buying a Zoho Mail add-on and all this good stuff that required a little bit of extra work. Now we've made it extremely simple, right? Now you can just type in your Google credentials here, and it automatically pulls the emails directly into CRM. Just make sure I got the password right. I can't talk and type at the same time. Now, it's kind of a little bit different than it's saying my pop mail's already been established, and that's probably because I didn't delete it properly from the previous demo I've done. But the only place that that you have to go outside of the Apps and Add-ons tab for Google Apps here, you see. Your email's here, but it also lives in personal settings under email settings. And that's where you can also set up some POP3. That's if you have separate POP3 accounts. Like I said, Google, the beautiful thing with Gmail that we've done is enable that for you. So all you have to do is put in your credentials. So now I should, and it probably won't show instantaneous. It usually takes maybe, well, it depends on the amount of mails. So if you have sent a lot of mails to these contacts in CRM, it may not show up immediately. So across attachments here, can't highlight. Across from attachments here, you have documents, desktops, Zoho Docs, and Google Drive. Pretty simple stuff, right? Documents is your documents folder. Desktop is what you have on your desktop. Zoho Docs is if you're using Zoho Docs, a wonderful tool. Or equally wonderful, Google Drive. So from my Google Drive folder, I've got a standard contract for my Zoho Reporter product that I want to attach to this particular contact in CRM. So I'll hit OK. Zoho pulls it directly out of Google Docs, or Drive. It is just the link, but you have the ability to download locally if you wanted that, but it's actually, and the reason why the size is here is because in case you wanted to attach that to a mail that you sent out in CRM, there's attachment limits, and you would know that it's the right size. So we've added a document from Google Drive pretty simply to any records. This is particularly a contact record, but you can do it to a lead, to an account. You can do it to a lead or a contact. So syncing calendars, again, has become a lot easier now that you have your credentials shared with Zoho CRM. You have your Google Apps credentials shown with Zoho CRM. So I want to select a calendar, which in this case, this is my Google Apps calendar here. I want to do a two-way sync so that both my CRM calendar and also my Google Calendar share the same information. This is great for when you want to create a new event here in CRM. We'll future date that for tomorrow at 3 p.m. I'll say call with Jags, and I'll save that. So now the event has been created in my Zoho CRM calendar. Call with Jags, 3 p.m. Okay. So now I want to sync that calendar with my Gmail calendar. So I select the calendar, I hit two-way sync, I hit save, voila. Now when I go to my calendar here, there it is. And again, it's a time zone issue. It really was set for 3 p.m. And that's an important point to remember, is that make sure your Zoho CRM calendar, which it should be, right? Your Zoho time zone should be the same as your Google Apps time zone. In this particular account, it's not that case, but once that's synced up, it'll show exactly at the same time, 3 p.m. and 3 p.m. And likewise, if I create something for Friday at 10, I'm going to call Bob at 10 a.m. It's likely going to show in CRM about 8 a.m. Look at, there's Bob right there. Sometimes I guess the databases don't talk as frequently as we want them to. But typically, and I think a couple of you guys can attest that may have already done this, it usually works pretty quickly and pretty seamlessly. Okay, so we're going to move right along to tasks, right? So in tasks, this is actually not a two-way sync. This is actually just the Google Apps tasks, the Google tasks. You can export tasks from CRM to Google. You can't do your Google tasks to CRM yet. We'll work on that two-way piece as soon as we can. But right now, you can take your CRM tasks and you can move them to Google. So the one last thing I wanted to kind of show you guys was the Contextual Gadget from Zoho CRM in Gmail and Google Apps. So this here, that you see right here, is a Contextual Gadget for Gmail. Ultimately, it allows you to search to see if this guy that you're speaking with is a contact already in your CRM. Okay? And it has a little bit of information here where I can say, yep, you know what, he is in my CRM. Here's some of his basic information. Here's maybe his potential that I've been working on. All this information is in Gmail now so that you don't have to bounce to CRM, look at his contact page, find out his details. I don't have any potentials listed under him, but let's pretend there was potentials. They would be listed here, and you can also create them. So again, I'm working on email. I'm working through Gmail. Instead of switching over to CRM, I want to go to immediately tell them that, oh man, we're talking about a $4,000 deal, and it's the May promo deal, and it's obviously going to close in May. We're going to say May 31st, and the stage is, I've sent them a price quote. So I can update information right here within Gmail while I reply back to his mail about the May promo. So it's just kind of a nice, easy way to kind of stay within whatever preferred tool you're in. And it's a pretty neat tool to, again, just kind of stay within Gmail, update the CRM at the same time. And of course, you can at any point you can hide this stuff if it's in the way. The Zoho Projects one, again, we have a projects contextual integration with Gmail. So you can do the same thing if you're communicating with someone in a project. You can update tasks or timesheets or anything like that right within Gmail. All right, so that's what I had to show you guys.